Hello everyone, welcome to NFTV. I hope you're hating the international break as much as me and Brandon are. Newcastle Fans TV. Hello everyone, welcome back to NFTV. And this has been a discussion that's been floated around since Amanda Staveley, PIF and Jamie Rubin have come in about St James's Park. Would you want to relocate? So please let us know in the comments. Brandon, I'm going to just throw it out there. You move stadium. What's happening?
For the future of the club, I would say yes, but St James's Park is such a temple for me, at least personally. I love the stadium. I think it's arguably one of the better stadiums in the world. I love being stadiums in the city centre, like we talked about it in the train actually today. Yeah. I love it when a stadium is in the centre. All the modern football thing, it's moving stadiums out of the city or close at least, or in some sort of neighbourhood. I love it when a stadium is in the city centre, and it's a pity you can't extend St James's Park for some reasons. But yeah, for the future of the club, I would say yes, because you would like to have the training ground around it as well. Yeah. Everything like packed in one place. Well, now it's the training ground, you know, it's like...
It's for me to know. I'm not for it. Local lad, I live 5 miles from the ground. I work literally opposite the stadium. I see it every day. I just can't see my club away from St James's Park. I cannot. And you mentioned city centre. Even the away fans, when they come across the Redgate Bridge or the bridge on the train, they see the stadium popping out. The student flats going up left, right, and centre, which I personally hate. But you still see that stadium. You think, I'm in Newcastle now. Yeah. When you're coming over the bridge, and it's a city centre. It's a short walk from the central station. You can go to loads of bars, pubs. For me, I can't comprehend moving St James's Park. I get financially reasons why, but you're ripping that DNA, the soul. Yeah. And it's been there since 1892 when the clubs East and West merged, and then obviously facilities got better and so on. I know it's had its criticism with the lack of paint on all the previous owners, but away fans love it, home fans love it. I
totally agree on these points with you, for sure. But it's also mixed signals from the owners. Like Amanda Staveley said, the training ground looks horrible. She wants to improve on that training ground and academy. Why would you do that if they already have new plans for a new stadium? Right?
The good thing about anything about the training ground or the stadium, it doesn't hit your financial fair play, because you can create whatever you want. Look at Leicester. This stadium for me, you talked about a couple of points there I wanted to bring up, because you mentioned there the expansion. So that's the reason why it's been muted on the thing like Facebook and Twitter debate, should Newcastle move to expand the stadium for the demand, because you could probably easily sell out 60,000, 70,000 at the moment, and that's hitting because of new owners only, just new owners. But we can't extend behind the Gallagher now because Ashley sold the land, and there's stuff being built next to the Strawberry. Contracts are being signed. Can Amanda Staveley jump in and legally fight that? I don't know. I'm not the answer. I'm not a lawyer. Probably not, I would have thought. So that means the Gallagher struggles to expand. And then the East Stand, because you've got listed buildings at Terrace Row, the East Stand from the outside looks awful, looks horrible, it's very outdated. That can't be expanded because of that. And then you think, well, you've already got the Milburn and the Leazes already built nicely. Can you? It'll have to be the other two grounds. So there's been talk where you could move the stadium, the pitch sideways and do it that way. That'll cost a lot of money. And if that was to happen, you probably have to have Newcastle play away from the ground for 12 months.
Yeah. Where are we going to play? Gateshead?
Stadium of Light? Middlesbrough?
Way.
You wouldn't, would you? Because there's not a stadium nearby. Leeds? There's not a big stadium nearby. Unless you're going to Glasgow. No, you can't. So...
Actually, there's a thing that happened with us at Alkmaar, my hometown team. The roof collapsed, they were not allowed to play in the stadium anymore. Ajax was nice enough to say, you guys can play in our stadium, but they're sort of rivals, you know. We live close by, so ADO Den Haag, they said you can play at our stadium, and they did. It was good, but that's the same thing. I wouldn't play at the stadium of.
Because there's not like London. We are here filming in London. You've got Palace have shared with Wimbledon, QPR Fulham, Spurs Wembley. There's loads of stadiums here. There's loads. Whereas in Newcastle, you've only got 3 stadiums that are above 35,000, which is ours, Middlesbrough, Sunderland.
Could go to Edinburgh.
Well, Edinburgh's. Yeah, you can go to Edinburgh, Glasgow. Are you really going to play in Scotland? I mean, no, Edinburgh. Yeah, you've got Murrayfield, haven't you? That's in Edinburgh, isn't it? How do you drive commercial revenue into St James's Park right now? You would have to change the name of the stadium. I don't want that. That rips your DNA and soul out of the club. So we've had it in the past where Ashley's tried to change it without, and then it was Sports Direct at St James's Park, and then it was changed back. Would fans be against that? So we'll always know it as St James's Park, but say if Amanda Stavey held fans forum and got the fans involved and NUFC and what have you, and fan groups, whatever, and the majority were saying, look, we need 60 million a year, whatever going into the club, and we can change the name of the ground, and that 60 million can be put on one player. For example, the star signing every year. Right. It's a tough one because it could be called the Peroni Stadium. It could be called the Coca-Cola. You know where I'm going here. Brands. Other brands are available. The Boyle Sports Stadium.
Would you take Newcastle Brown Hill Stadium?
You could name loads. You could, couldn't you?
If it's related to Newcastle, though, the brand, there might be people up for it.
If it comes down to either relocate or change the stadium name, I change the stadium name.
Yeah.
Because the stadium's still there.
Indeed.
It's still. Yes, we have lost a bit of.
And people will still call it St James's Park.
Yeah, we would. If it comes down to that, I'll still want it to be, because that's still in the city centre. I lost a little bit of soul, but the fans inside the ground will still think it's St James's Park, war flags and everything like that.
But the other option to it, but to the outside world, it will be the Peroni Stadium.
Yeah,
you know?
officially, commercially, yeah. So that'll drive money in. I'm not for it though. But if it comes down to one of those two, then yeah. So the other option is to move it up towards the Leases Park, the Toonmoor, just up the road from Barracks Road, and build a whole brand new stadium and continue playing at St James's Park. So we've got all the money in the world. So Spurs struggled financially, not spending any money. Arsenal did. So building new stadiums doesn't hit FFP. So because we've got all the money in the world, we can buy a brand new, world-class stadium, a bit like Spurs have got, bring the NFL, whatever. That won't cost us because we've got money. We can still buy transfers.
But then again, we go again to the modern football sort of thing. I'm kind of against modern football. Like it is what it is now, with us getting taken over by the Saudis. It started with the Russian at Chelsea, Abramovich. That's where
they've never moved. They have never moved.
No, I mean just to say, like, I'm against modern football, and unfortunately we have to go this way. We couldn't stop it as then. We could have, but it's too late now.
Yeah. So their option is to move and then build a whole brand new stadium and relocate out to St James's Park. I get commercially, that'd be fantastic, and it'll drive a lot more money back in for the business of the club. That's fantastic.
The only good thing to know is what I believe is that Amanda Stavely wouldn't do a thing without asking the fans.
Yeah, well, Ashley would. If Ashley was to invest, that is, he would just do it. He wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, but the new owners,
they've got to bring the fans involved with that. Yeah, 100%. Because if it comes down to, I don't know, I'll throw a figure out there, 70% or out of 100,000 people say yes to a new stadium,
then it's going to happen.
Then if it's liaised back and forth, and
I would accept it though. 70% of the Newcastle fans say, okay, out of the 100,000, we want a new stadium. Then I follow along.
I wouldn't want it. I personally would, but I'm not sat in that room. I'm not having that conversation. I don't see the money. I don't see the figures or whatever. But as a fan, as a match-going fan, home and away, I would feel pretty disappointed. You look at other stadiums and it's lost its atmosphere. The Emirates is awful. Been there a few times. Spurs Stadium, I was there when Joe Linton scored. That was awful. I mean, it was a great away day. Wembley, when Spurs located Wembley, that was awful. There's tons that have lost its atmosphere. I could go on and on and on. For me, I can't. But we would love to know what you think of the whole. Would you like to relocate, or would you like to have a sponsor? the stadium, or do you just want it kept as St James's Park? Let us know in the comments, everyone. Ta-da.